on product recall. So under this flow chart, you are able to see the sequential flow of certain activities on product defects and product recalls. This information is actually retrieved from these guidance notes from HSA, which is guidance for industry reporting of therapeutic product defects and recall of therapeutic products. In fact, most of the important information here and the gist of these are actually summarized in the PowerPoint slides. So I will just go through some of the different scenarios here. Alright, so the first one is the defective therapeutic product registered in Singapore? If your answer is no, you move on to the second portion. You need to know that if this is for unregistered therapeutic product imported or manufactured for patient use, these are more from the these are more relevant to the hospitals or to the clinics. So if it's no, then it's out of scope. Alright, so for products that are registered, for defective products that are registered in Singapore, you need to then, if it's yes, then you need to investigate the defects and also identify if local batches are affected or could potentially be affected. If the answer is no, the defect is only relevant to the products that you exported overseas, then no reporting is necessary. If the answer is yes, and if you cause some serious adverse reaction, then report to HSA. This you can refer back to these guidance notes for more reference. So if the defective products can actually cause health or serious injury or pose serious threat to public health, it is considered a critical defect. As we already learned just now, for critical defect you must notify with HSA within 48 hours. So for critical defects, it is definitely a class 1 recall. Alright, and you can also see that for critical defects, a lot of times you need to do a very thorough, very in-depth kind of investigations, and this actually including the use of a CAPA report. CAPA is corrective actions and preventive action, right? So for class 1 recall, need to also justify the level of recall should be limited to consumer or wholesaler level, but most of the time it will go down to the consumer or even retail level. If the defects are milder and it will not cause any serious threat or serious injury, but it will still affect the outcome of the treatment or affect the quality of the product, it is considered a non-critical defect and need to be notified to the HSA within 15 days. Alright, here. So to summarize, a product recall needs some of these important procedures in place. The first one is a person or a department or even a group of designated personnel need to be designated for the coordination and executions of all product recalls. So in the event of product recall, all customers to whom the product has been distributed shall be informed with the appropriate degree of urgency. The recall message, which is your dear purchaser letter, need to indicate whether the recall should be carried out at a retail level or wholesaler level or customer level, and also the class of recall need to be very clear. Alright, if the recall product is exported to another country, and if you are a manufacturer or the supplier of this product, the overseas counterparts need to be informed, and of course the overseas regulatory authorities must be informed on the recall as well. So all actions taken in connection with the product recall need to be approved by your company or the regulatory authorities. Most of the time it's up to the company, and need to be recorded. Documentation and recording the recall process, the outcome, are very important. Alright, the progress of recall process need to be recorded, and then after that a final report need to be issued, which will includes the reconciliation made between the delivered and the recovered quantity of products. then this at the end of your whole recall process need to submit back to HSA to close the recall case.